Welcome, everybody, to Sales Unscripted, Sales Podcast. My name is Brian Neal.
And I'm Margaret Henny.
For the Sales Podcast, Sales Unscripted Podcast is what I meant to say there. So glad you're here. We are, how many episodes is this now?
Oh, I want to say
10?
this might be 15.
15?
We have so many.
We're rolling.
I know.
Glad you're here. Find us, share us around.
Please.
You know, like where Spotify or like us or share it on LinkedIn, that sort of thing. And then start to interact with us. We're just continuing to put out episode after episode so we slowly take over the sales podcast world. One episode
Total domination.
at a time. So this is great. And inspired by our faithful friends and fans who said, you two need to do this podcast. So we did, which was really fun. So you are fresh back from a badass trip.
Yes.
I must say. You went, tell us where you went.
Derek and I just got back from Spain.
Who's Derek?
España. Oh, Derek's my boyfriend.
Okay,
sorry, he's not some random person. He's my boyfriend. From Barcelona. I cannot do the lisp. I can't do it, even though that's
Barcelona?
Barcelona.
Barcelona.
I don't know why I'm whispering
Barcelona?
You don't have to whisper it, but...
Do you say, is it Barcelona?
Barcelona. Well, they so they have a little bit of a lisp. Or we think that they do, but that's just like the way that they... But I know a little bit of like Latin American Spanish. So I'm talking in like Latin American Spanish, and they're talking in Spain Spanish.
Espanol.
But it was so great. We like ate our body weight in seafood and wine. Oh my God, it was so amazing.
Good. So what? Tell me about like best part. You've been there before, or just
I have been there before, but Derek has not been there before. At least I've been to the south of Spain, but never to this area.
Okay.
And Barcelona is like maybe one of the best cities
in
the world. I was totally blown away. And
You've never been there before?
Never. No. Huh. Well, and I've like sometimes I'm not always into big cities. Yeah. Just I'm a small town gal. I feel like a little intimidated by them sometimes.
Yeah.
Not at all. Huh. It was like really easy to get around. So beautiful, incredible architecture. The food was great. The people were also really sweet and very, very patient. Like, because know, some people are like, especially big cities, they can get really impatient with tourists or just annoyed.
Yes.
Not at all. They were just the sweetest people in the whole world. So
good to hear.
I know. We had a really nice time.
What did you do? Is Barcelona on the sea?
It is. It's right on the water.
Which sea is it?
It's the Mediterranean.
Quiz. It's on the Mediterranean?
It's on the Mediterranean.
So that color, what's the color of the water?
Oh my God, it's gorgeous. It's not like the aqua that you see in like the Caribbean, but like more of like a really dark, deep, beautiful blue, but like very clear, and also very, as my friend Marinko would say, Marinko is from Croatia, and when I visited him there, he was like, the sea is very fresh. It means it's cold. It's cold as hell.
It is? Oh, I was going to say it smelled like fish.
No.
That was fresh.
It's fresh, very fresh. No, it was...
Pete's.
No, it was beautiful, but like, woo-wee.
It was really cold.
Fresh.
So did you even get in there?
I did, because like I kind of have a rule like that if I'm by a body of water, I'm a water baby. I love to be in the water. I feel way more comfortable in the water than out.
That's so funny.
I love it. And so if I'm by a body of water, no matter how cold, I'm getting in it.
No shit. I didn't know that about you.
Yeah.
That's a great rule.
Yeah. Same thing with waterfalls. If I can get in the waterfall, I'm totally getting in it.
That's so funny.
Love it. I got weird rules.
Did you ever see the movie Splash?
Yes, totally.
From forever ago, you're kind of like her, right?
Oh my gosh, yeah, with Tom Hanks.
Daryl Hannah, Tom Hanks.
Old
what a
school
great
Tom
movie.
Hanks, so good.
Why don't you run along, Walter? See if you can go find a unicorn. Sorry, Splash is one of my favorite movies.
Wow, I was like,
times.
You know that really well.
Yeah.
So we just had a lovely time.
I'll be back with the little boat. The little boat. So all my Gen Xers know what that is.
I don't know that.
Fat Jack, when he was in the little boat, the dinghy, and he's like, I'm mechanical, I can fix it. When Tom Hanks was going to find Daryl Hannah, and he hired this guy named Fat Jack to drive in this little outboard motored out where he saw Daryl Hannah as a mermaid under the water, and it broke down.
I got to go back and watch it. The only part I remember is when she got in the bathtub and then she's using the hair dryer on her fins or whatever.
To get her legs to come back.
I was like,
fantastic. So great. Okay, we digress.
Yeah.
Well, I'm glad you had fun. Did Derek like it? You said he'd never been there before.
He loved it.
He did? That's
yes,
good.
He is a big travel person as well. Okay. And this was our first big trip that we'd taken together. So it was
really?
like, yes. Well, because...
How long you been dating? You've been dating like 6
4
years?
years.
4 years, right.
4 years. But then 2 of those years were COVID.
Oh, that makes sense.
You know what I mean?
That makes sense.
And so, like, I don't know. This was our first time. And so we were like, let's do it. And we had a great time.
I'm really happy for you. That's great. Do you fly in the back of the plane when you go overseas?
Yes.
Do you really? How do you do that? I'm a travel snob.
Oh, good for you.
I fly first class because of football, and now I fly first class everywhere.
I've heard that's one of those things that you like cannot go back on.
It's just like
I've never flown first class, and I think that's like what is saving me. If I fly first class, I'll be screwed.
Oh my God!
Because then you can't go back.
Don't ever. You surely shouldn't.
I know.
And it's not like it's like super luxurious. It's just
slightly better than hell.
Shit, when you're going 9 hours, from New York to, and you're in this
so
itty
long.
bitty seat, you're wiggling around, you get restless leg syndrome.
Oh my God. That? Yes. Yeah. Well, this is kind of like, I guess I should probably be worried about it. My feet swell
up,
like crazy. Right. I need to get like compression tights.
Did you really?
No, I did, but I need to, like an old woman or something. Like because
I need compression tights.
Well, maybe
but that's
you do.
Funny. Maybe you do.
Gotta get that circulation going. So I'm the person in the back
great.
by the bathroom who's like doing stretches.
Yeah, totally.
And
doing yoga on the plane.
Yeah, reaching up, reaching
doing
down.
handstands so that your blood runs out of your feet. That's really
funny. Exactly. So
okay, so we are doing kind of an acronym inspired episode today. It's the AB blanks.
Yes.
The AB blanks. So
and the original AB is.
Do you know what it is? That's great.
Right.
Well, it's generation gap. Oh. Do you know what it is?
ABS.
No.
What?
I knew you were going to say
Always
that.
be selling is not it? Stop.
I'm not laughing at you. I'm laughing with you.
Okay, so what is it?
This is how I love we do on stupid podcast.
Son of a
bitch. I thought you were going to say that. Okay.
You caught me.
I didn't catch you.
I
but
totally
this is
thought
great.
I knew what it was.
Generation gap. Generation gap alert. That's what we always say. Okay. The original is from a movie called Glengarry Glen Ross.
That's the name of the movie?
Glengarry Glen Ross.
That's a terrible name for a movie.
You guys got to watch it.
Okay.
ABC stands for always be closing.
Always be closing.
Always be closing.
Okay, I think I have.
ABC.
Okay, the
always be closing.
Well, ABC.
Yeah.
Sounds
And coffee
a
is
better.
for closers.
Yeah.
Meaning only the closers, the people can actually use the coffee machine. The rest of you can't.
Is that something in the movie that
watch
happens?
Watch the movie. Glengarry Glen Ross.
Okay.
Always be closing. Pretty sure that's where it came from. But anyway,
that's
where I thought it came from. ABC's always be closing.
Okay. That sounds.
Always be closing. When I was I worked for Procter & Gamble right out of college, and we sold consumer goods, diapers, paper towels, things like that. And we sold cases of those things.
Yeah.
Right? So we closed every sale.
Evansville.
Went to our vehicle, bought some insurance, put up my umbrella because it was raining, and then went down, walked on the cement. Those are all the words I say like I'm from Evansville.
Oh, really?
Umbrella,
cement.
Vehicle, insurance, and cement.
I say cement.
Right, because you say it right.
Yeah,
I'm from Evansville.
Okay.
No, umbrella, cement, insurance, vehicle.
Okay, well, to make you feel better, I'm from Monticello, Indiana, which, by the way, people are always like, you mean Monticello? Like Jefferson's home? I'm like, no. We're from Indiana. We say it Monticello. We say Versailles.
We say Carmel.
Yeah.
Not Carmel. You live in Carmel, Indiana. No, I live in Carmel. Anyway.
Okay.
So we closed every sale at Procter & Gamble with TLC. TLC, which stood for timing, location, and cases.
Got it.
Timing,
I was like,
when would you like these? Would you like me to have these on Friday? When they get to the store, where would you like me to put them, and how many cases can I put you down for?
Oh.
Timing, location, cases. When do you want them? Where do you want them in the store located, and how many cases do you want?
Okay.
That was timing, location, cases.
I like it.
ABC, always be closing. That was our version of closing.
Okay.
We don't like that anymore, do we?
No, we don't.
We don't like that.
Well, because like always be closing.
It's cheesy.
It is cheesy, but it is focused on you as the salesperson, right?
Totally.
It's like all about you, what I want, what I can do for me, right? And like I'm hoping that there's a new wave that we're riding, getting away from that, because it just feels so gross, and it feeds into that very old school mentality of that like slick salesperson, and they're like, stop, you're gonna try and sell me on something, like always be closing. If that's your motto, like gross.
I have a client that uses the word gross very, very eloquently. And we even did a client, like a training class on how to be a not gross connector.
Ooh, not gross.
How to be a not gross
like
connector.
It.
It's great, isn't it? How to be not gross in the sales process. It's really good. Love it.
Ooh, we should talk about that sometime. We'll put it on the list.
Yeah.
We'll put it on the list.
So we're doing the ABs that we don't like. I don't like timing, location, cases. I don't like always be closing. But what should we always be doing?
Okay. Well,
Margaret and I are going to attack that, aren't we? And Margaret, I will just turn her in. Sales Unscripted podcast. She tried to prepare. She tried to script.
I did, and
she
it
had
doesn't
her phone
work.
Out, and I'm like,
I was
Margaret,
like,
there's my nose.
I know.
My little noise.
All right, so mine is also an ABC.
We can do a few of these.
So we totally can.
Yeah, go ahead.
So
ABC.
Always be curious.
Oh, yes.
Always be curious.
Bravo.
It's like one of my favorite things too, because it's what makes sales and relationships so interesting too.
Bravo.
Like you're just genuinely curious about what's going on with the other person, how you can help them, diving into stuff. I mean, that is the thing that gets me the most excited about sales. So always be curious.
Always be curious. I can do that. Always be curious. I'll try one.
Yeah.
I'll do ABY.
ABY. Oh, can I guess?
Yeah.
Always be yourself.
Always be yourself.
I knew it.
You did it. You did it. Game show time. Always be yourself. I think you should always be yourself. One of our core fundamental values and things that we teach here at Blind Zebra is authenticity.
Yeah.
Everything we teach, you just be yourself. Always be yourself. I see this a lot I see it especially in tech, especially with tech AEs who do demos. And they have this sort of pace of speech that I don't feel is authentic. It's like they put something on for the customer.
Okay.
And it's this sort of intentional dialect speech that drives us to da-da-da, and it's kind of rehearsed and has a pattern to it.
Okay.
And has an up and a down. It just doesn't sound real too often.
Yeah. Okay, you know what? I'm going to divert for just one quick second, because about that, what do you think about sales decks?
I'm not a fan.
Okay, thank you for being honest about that.
Yeah, and I'll tell you why. Well, let me say, I'm not a fan in the form that I usually see them created and used.
Okay. There's got to be exceptions, but like I was kind of thinking the same thing, right? Because
the problem for me is the lack of interactiveness.
Yes.
And or customization of those slide decks.
Yeah.
It's about, let me share with you what it is.
Well, also, if we're saying ABY, always be yourself, it doesn't leave a lot of room for your own interpretation or like, just kind of the dialogue back and forth. It's like way more of this monologue where you're like, okay, you can even mute yourself. I'm going to talk to you for a while. Like, lame.
You can mute yourself. I'm just going to talk through this.
I mean, if that was the case, you'd be like, send them a video, right?
So what we found with our solution is that based on 400 sales calls, our stats showed us that by installing our solution,
based on what we saw,
it goes up and up and up. So it doesn't sound very authentic. Now, some people talk that way, so it's fine if you do, but a lot of people don't.
Yeah, that's true.
So that's one. You got one? That was my ABY.
Okay, so when I originally thought it was ABS, always be selling, I was like, oh, come on with another S. Son of a gun. I would say always be supporting.
Oh, that's good.
Like, that's just kind of a little bit general.
I love it. No, it's not general at all.
Always be supporting.
It's very sweet.
So it's just like
Fred.
What can I...
Always be Fred. Right?
Just be Fred, doggone it.
Henny.
That sounds like so...
Dr. Henny.
Good old Indiana.
Always be Fred. ABF. We need to make bracelets, don't we? In honor of your pops.
What would Fred do?
Shouldn't we?
Yeah.
WFD? No, WWFD?
WWFD. Totally. Fred would love it. He would be like, don't always do what I do.
WTFWD. What does Fred do here?
Just always be supporting, because
it.
and what I mean by that too is just like focused on the other person too, just because it's so easy to be focused on ourselves, like me, what I want, how I can get this sold. Like, I think that's the opposite of always be closing.
Yes.
Right? Because then you're like focused on how I can make this work for me. If you're focused on always be supporting, what does this person need, and having their genuine best interests at heart. You just can't go wrong.
No, you cannot go wrong. That's the great thing about the ones we've got so far.
Yeah.
Way better than the
always be closing.
Always be selling. I'm going to go Abe here.
ABE?
Not what you think. Well, you want to guess again? ABE?
Always be... I was going to say energized is the first thing, but that can't be true.
No.
Always be... Now tell me.
Always be evaluating.
Ooh,
always
say more.
Be evaluating.
Okay.
And here's a great little sales lesson, kids.
Okay.
Gather around. All the selling stuff is all a process, and it's a two-way process for both of us and that buyer, that customer, to decide whether or not they want to engage in a business deal, contract, solution, software, whatever, for money, usually. Exchange for money. And what happens too often is we as the salespeople forget that we can evaluate too. We take everything for face value. Oh, here's my service. It's awesome. Here's this video platform. It's great. You'll get more leads. And do you want it? So it's like, you're evaluating me. How am I doing? My thing's really good. It really makes the show rates better, and you'll get more money. Do you want it? Like that. I should be evaluating them also.
Yeah.
I should be evaluating them based on their motive. what they're trying to accomplish. I should be evaluating them based on their money.
Yes.
Right? Their economic situation, and does it make economic sense? Because I don't want to put anyone in a bad economic deal.
Mm-hmm.
If my sales coaching program costs $100,000, and if they are perfect at it, the most they're going to grow their sales is $10,000. I would never, ever, ever want someone to do that. Like, they would never want you to spend money.
That's a good one, and it's a tough one. That actually also, it feeds back to our one that we just did, the counterintuitive sales tactics.
Yeah.
Because so for instance, if someone came to me at Co-Video and they were like, I want to find the best way to automate making authentic relationships, which, by the way, like automate and authentic, just like no equal sign. That doesn't go together.
It does not equal.
I would be like, I don't think that we are having the right conversation. Or, oh my God, I've totally called people out for this before. Call out makes it sound bad, but
no, it's good.
I'll be getting on a demo or a sales call with somebody to talk about Co-Video. By the way, what we do is personalized video messaging, and they will get on and they won't turn their camera on.
Oh.
And they'll be like, no, I don't think I'm gonna turn my camera on. And I was like, you know what we're here to talk about, right?
Right.
We're gonna talk about video and you being on video. And if they are having a really hard time with it, like, I'll walk them through it, but I'll be really honest. I'll be like, hey, if this is not something that you feel like you can push yourself out of, we probably shouldn't even have this conversation.
I love it.
Yeah.
That's what you do. That's really great.
Yeah.
Hope you, play what Margaret just said back in a loop. So many people are not good at that.
It's hard to do.
It's so hard to do, but it's such the right thing to do across the board.
Yeah.
It's just the right thing to
Not
do.
everybody's a fit, and that's totally okay.
They shouldn't be.
Yeah.
They just shouldn't be. It's just, until your company you couldn't handle all the business you could get. You just couldn't. There's just not enough resources. You couldn't take care of everybody.
Yep.
So that's a really good thing.
Well, and then also you let somebody buy something that is not a good fit for them.
Yes.
And then they're just going to be ticked.
Absolutely.
Like you are not being true to yourself, right?
Yes.
So like that feels a little gross in and of itself. And then they have a bad experience and they're like, wait a minute, Marge, I wanted to automate this and I didn't speak up. Well, that's on me then.
Yes.
Like I did not provide them a great experience. That sucks for them. It also sucks for my support team because they're dealing with that, those non-wins, I guess, and all of those frustrations, and they take that out on them. And then my team's like, hey, why'd you sell them this? They're not even good for it, whatever.
It
so
just never goes
don't
well.
do it. Just
and
don't.
when she speaks about herself in terms of Marge, she's not effing around. She calls herself Marge. Like,
Marge
okay,
is
look
like,
out.
that's like my hands on my
It
hips.
is.
Like,
Exactly.
listen.
You're an angry person. Listen, I'm gonna go Marge on your ass. I'm gonna go Marge on
Tell
your
him
ass.
Marge
I'm gonna go
sent
Marge
ya.
on your ass. What a great movie. Oh my God.
That's Pee-wee for
And when they
anybody who
pulled
doesn't
the
know.
knife from the burning, twisted mountain of steel.
For all you young ones.
This. Love that. That's so great.
Check it out, Pee-wee.
Let me see. I'm going to go another E.
Uh-huh.
Another E. A little more on the behavioral side of life.
Oh, I like it.
Always be efficient. Always be efficient.
That's
Always
good.
be efficient.
I'm making this face because I'm so bad at it.
You're bad at efficiency?
I'm so bad at it.
I don't know this.
I know.
I'm so efficient. I'm one of the most efficient humans you'll ever meet.
I squander time.
That's so
I
funny.
just don't want to. I hate it.
Yeah.
Okay, tell me how you are efficient.
I don't know. I just do not do things that don't matter.
I do so much that doesn't matter. It's insane. Like
I do. I see people, and God bless them. And one of them is my wife, who's our CEO.
Yeah.
And it's her process. And this place would be a tenth of the size it is if it weren't for her.
It's a process.
And that's part of the skill set we both have and don't have. She makes a to-do list every day.
Yeah.
In the morning, every day. She sits and she has it's color coded. She writes it out by hand every day.
That feels
which is great.
good.
It does. For you, it does. For her, it feels great. I haven't done a to-do list in 20 years.
You're like, I'm still getting shit done.
Exactly. I'm getting a lot of shit done, too, is what I argue. Not in a cocky way.
Right.
I just know that I pick these 2 or 3 big things out, and that's what needs to get done. And then I procrastinate little things, and then people get irritated. Like,
yes.
Did you do this little thing? And I'm like, yeah, I know. I'm sorry. I got bigger things. So there's a comfort with boundaries.
Good for you.
Around the bigger things.
Yeah. See, that's something that I need to work on, though.
Yeah,
like,
it's hard. That's really hard.
I like that we're talking about it, though.
Yeah,
See?
yeah, it's good.
And also, it's important for us to tell you guys the stuff that we're not good at, I think, because I hate it when people are like, you got to do this, and this. And like, we're not doing all of this perfectly all the time. So just let's
follow
make that
through.
clear.
Oh, my God. I lost a huge deal for our firm selling to a CRO because I was talking to him out in the parking lot, and I always set a clear future date, as you know.
Oh, yeah.
And he
Love
had to roll
it.
real
CFDs.
quick. I said, no problem. I'll shoot a note right after this, give a thing. Walked in here, got on a call like this, forgot, evaporated, gone. 6-figure contract right at the very end. 7 sales meetings, executed perfectly, gone. Literally gone.
Honey,
I want 2 years.
Hug you.
It's been 2 years.
No.
I swear. It's like a logo everybody knows, too.
Yeah.
Totally effed it up. So I'm bad at that.
But they happen. It happens.
It does.
And then you let it go and you move on and it's okay. But that's a good learning experience.
There's no doubt we all have to look at ourselves and give ourselves some grace.
Yeah.
You know, my wife has grace tattooed on her wrist.
Does
Did you
she?
know that?
No,
Right
and
there.
I love that. It's also my niece's name. I
is
love
it?
the
That's
name
great. I love
Grace.
that.
Grace Elizabeth.
Are there any other ABs, anything?
I have one
you got
other one.
Let's do it.
It's actually an ABC as
Oh, I
well,
love
so
it.
I thought
Okay.
about it.
I'm
This
here.
is like kind of a more, we've talked about this a little bit too. ABC, always be cleaning.
Oh.
Always be cleaning up your pipeline.
Oh,
because
nice.
if you don't,
Now you're talking about
you like,
shit.
hey,
Let's
hey,
go, Marge.
hey,
Let's
hey.
go, Marge.
Thank you. Because otherwise it just piles up,
It
and then
does.
you've got all of this BS that you
So
hang on
good.
to for too long, and I
that's
am
good.
super, super guilty of this.
It's really good.
And you had said on one of our other podcasts how your team does a
Funnel cleansing.
exactly
Once a month.
and
Yep.
you sit down and you just do it, and that's it. It's in the calendar.
It's done. And
Yeah.
and you actually report a goal.
I like it.
So think about this. Let make up the numbers. Pretend we have 100 open opportunities. Each rep goes around. Let's say there's 10 reps. Each have 10. I say, okay, in the next half hour, I'm going to close out 2 of mine.
Yeah.
Close lost. You're going to close out 3. 2. There's 2, 5, 6. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And we know for sure at the end of that meeting, we're going to have 15 fewer open opportunities than we did 30 minutes prior.
That's great.
It's great, but people think it's not. It's great.
No, it's
'Cause
good.
It's real. It's so good.
Yeah, that's
And
another one that
it's
sounds
so good.
counterintuitive.
Totally.
But it is, you have to do it because those are the ones that you're hanging on to for too long.
Amen.
Or you're like waiting for them to, like, when they say like, call me in a year. And you know what I mean?
me in
Like
a
when people
It's
say
funny.
that, I'm like,
Why don't you
that's
call me into
cute.
Call me.
That's
I
cute.
really like what we're talking about here. I'm love. You all. Why don't you give me a call between Christmas Eve and
New Year's Day.
New Year's Day. I should be ready to talk about that.
I'm ready to go.
And people hear that and go, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, that sounds awesome. Well, ho, ho, ho. Talk to you then, right? Right?
So funny.
Just hear those sleigh bells ringling. Jing, jing,
But I am that
jingling.
person that would be like, hey, remember you told us?
You told me
You
it's
know,
the 26th
I
of
know.
December.
So
It's Boxing Day
always Boxing Day. It is.
in Canada.
Always be cleaning.
Always be clean. That's really good. You knew I'd love that one.
I know you
It's
would.
Really, really good. Me like.
Got
Okay, we
one.
could play this game all day. I think I'm out.
Okay, that's
Do
good.
you have any more?
I got one more.
Yeah, go ahead.
I got one more.
Maybe I'll
okay.
think of one while you're
okay.
talking. Go ahead.
Okay, well, let's see if you can guess it. ABP.
Always be preparing.
No, but that's really good.
Oh,
then.
dang.
Always
That's
be
another-
prospecting.
Oh, always be prospecting.
Prospecting. Because that's when, like,
That's
you
really
know,
good.
if we're talking about cleaning our pipeline,
Yeah,
we
yeah,
got
gotta
to
fill the-
talk
yeah,
about
yeah,
filling
you're
it,
right.
you
That's
know,
true.
and there's always a difficult balance
Yeah.
between there, you know, where you can get really, like, you got all these great deals, and
Yes.
then you either close them, like, win them,
Yeah.
or lose them, close them out, and then all of a sudden you're like, whoa, things are
Yes.
looking real skinny right now.
Yes.
So how do you set aside time for prospecting? Do you just, like, how do you force yourself to do it?
We do it in prod pods.
You do? Okay.
We'll do that another time.
Oh,
We'll teach
okay.
a prod pod.
Stay
Can we do that?
tuned.
In a
Yeah,
prod-
yeah,
Teach you how to do
yeah.
a prod pod. One of the best tools that we teach at Blind Zebra. Your team has been doing them. Do you know
Yeah.
this? They've been doing prod pods.
I did know this.
Prospecting prod pods.
Yay, shout out Co-Video
has,
sales
way to go,
team.
Co-Video. They've been doing it really, really well too.
Yes.
And something I learned from another coach that I'll tell her name when I teach it. We'll do that.
Oh,
Is that cool?
good.
We'll
Yeah,
talk
yeah.
about
We'll
it
do it in
then.
a future one.
So I thought of one though when you were talking.
Tell me.
ABP. ABP.
Always be prepared.
Did I say that? Oh, yours was ABP.
Mine was ABP.
Mine is too. I didn't
Okay.
realize that. Okay, I got one. ABC. Always be closing. No, wait, that's taken.
What is it?
Always be practicing.
Oh.
Always be practicing.
Like practicing your skills?
Absolutely.
Oh, I like it.
Absolutely. You've got to practice your openings, your questionings, your transitions when you're doing demos. You need to practice how to ask people to get calendars out, practice how to handle it when you get resistance, practice how to
Yes.
talk about money. Ask yourself, if you're listening to this, how many hours did I practice this week? It's probably zero. It's
yeah.
probably zero. Then look for the month. How many hours did I practice this last month? Well, we did do a one-time 15-minute role play, 28 days ago. That's not it.
No.
Always be practicing.
I love a good
Always be
role play
practicing.
session, too. That's, of
Just
course,
need
the
to, just
theater
need
in me.
to. Oh, you do? Oh, you do like that? Yeah.
Oh,
didn't
I
think
love
about
it.
that.
Love it.
That's great.
Love a good role play session.
You just have to. There's no There's no way around that these days. And what's interesting, we have tools. We have video like this. So you can open a Zoom meeting. And just hit, or open Zoom, your app on your computer, and just hit start meeting or new meeting, whatever. I think it's new meeting.
Yeah.
And it'll just start recording for you. And just do your demo and practice it. Yeah. And then watch it back. You can burn it, like set it on fire or delete it or whatever you do these days. Right?
Yeah,
You've got everything. Your phone.
You have to flex that muscle though, because like if you're not doing it, it's like going to the gym, right? Like if you're not being consistent about that and practicing, you're not going to get stronger. So I like that one.
Always be practicing ABP.
Cool. Let's end on that one. That's a good one.
We're good?
Yeah,
okay,
yeah. But I want to hear, when we put this out there, what are your AB whatevers?
AB blanks.
So hit us up, guys, whatever your ABs.
We should write a book.
Oh.
Bryan and Margaret, AB blank.
AB blank.
AB blank for salespeople.
Ooh, I like it. New idea. See, this is how the podcast came to be.
Unscripted. We didn't think that up beforehand, I promise. All right.
All right. Thanks, guys.
See you next time.
Bye.
Bye.